Yo, good morning, campers, and welcome to your daily meditation. My name is Aaron. I'll be leading. Okay. How to hold what we're not grateful for, given how much shit there is happening that we're not grateful for. It's pretty useful to have a way to hold all that, right? Not have it run you. Holding it implies that you have it versus it has you, which is the normal way. When I read what passes for news, the first thing is it has me. And then you get to get on top of it, begin to hold it, which doesn't mean it disappears. So that's the fundamental practice here, is that we are not trying to get rid of it. We're not resisting it. We're not ignoring it. We're not pretending it's not there. We're not wishing it away. We're not pretending it's the whole story. We're simply going to be with it. Okay, so for the practice, you want to come up with one thing you're not grateful for and then bring that to today's practice. Okay, so it shouldn't be that hard to find something you're not grateful for. And if you can't find something you're not grateful for, then I would suspect you are fucking asleep. Okay, it is not really possible for you to sit here and tell me you're grateful for everything. Okay, so find something you're not grateful for. If you can, it's going to be a 10 or 12-minute practice, so don't pick some traumatic event. Pick something that's relatively simpler to do, something you might be able to hold. And then as you get good at it, you can do it with bigger things. All right, so to start, you can close the eyes or lower the gaze or soften the focus, just so you feel comfortable and can bring your awareness inward. I find it easiest to bring it inward by just asking myself with some curiosity, what does this body feel like? What does my body feel like right now? What do my feet feel like on the ground? What does my butt feel like in the chair? Not looking for the description of it, but just bringing awareness to the sensations of my feet on the ground. And you can ask that question of your whole body. And at some point, you'll naturally notice the breath. And when you do, you can simply let your awareness ride the breath in and out of the body, noticing the sensations, feeling what it feels like to breathe. Not labeling it, not describing it, simply giving yourself the opportunity to experience the breath in and out of the body. When the mind wanders, starts talking to you about something, you can just thank it. Maybe a small smile of acknowledgement that your brain is working, and come back to the breath. And bringing to mind the area that's not working, that you're not grateful for. And checking in with the body about where you feel that. Behind the eyes, in the chest, in your belly. Where's the experience live in the body of this area? Where does this area, how does this area feel to you? We're just quietly noticing what it feels like to bring this area to mind. Not judgmental, just watching, seeing. And now try naming it. Is it fear? Do you notice fear in the body? Do you call that resignation? Do you call that upset, rage, contempt? Might be a compound emotion, could be several, but if you're quiet and you notice, it'll settle into one or two buckets. And if it is fear, for example, you could just say, this is what fear feels like in my body, using however you labeled yours. With curiosity and openness, we just check, this is what fear feels like in my body. Can you notice if it has a shape or a color? How big is it? Is it heavy, light, hot, cool? Just really examine the experience of whatever this is. Sitting with non judgmental awareness, we can begin to notice that we are, in fact, big enough to hold this. We do have this fear or this resignation or this upset, but it's not who we are. We are not resigned or we are not fearful. We have fear, and it feels like this. It's this big. It looks like this. And we're just going to hold it for a little bit without making it wrong, without trying to do anything with it, just sitting with it. You might say to yourself, sometimes I feel this way. Because sometimes you do feel this way. And you're just acknowledging that sometimes this feeling of fear, or this feeling of upset, or this feeling of anger, whatever it is, sometimes I feel this way. If you wanted to continue the practice, you could also think, sometimes I don't feel this way. Notice what else you feel like. There might be something that makes you happy. Sometimes you feel happy, or connected, or in love, or at peace. You might be able to think of an incident where that's the case. And then you have two things. You feel this fear and you feel that happiness. That's what it is to be a person. It's to have multiple spaces. You might even have something you can appreciate, even if it's just appreciating that you take the time and you have the courage to sit with what's uncomfortable. When you're ready, you can take a few more breaths. Back. And you can do that as often as you like. Look, from time to time, you're going to have fear or upset or disappointment. It is what it is to be a person. You don't really get an option of living a life without it. It's not really one of the possible things we can do. So, practicing being with it, just allowing it to be just how it is and just how it isn't, noticing other things that are working, having it all. As Francis Weller talks about, holding grief in one hand and gratitude in the other, and being stretched large by them. That's the game, not to eliminate the pain. And in fact, if you stop trying to resist it, it stops hurting so much. It just becomes the way it is. And it's just the way it is. And sometimes I feel this way and sometimes I feel that way. Anyway, That's the practice. That is, in fact, one of the main reasons why we practice, to give ourselves the muscle memory and the opportunity to be with hard things. All right, that's what I got. Oh, there's a really good joke in there somewhere. That's what she said. There you go. I can't believe no one texted that in. What are you people, not even paying attention? All right, namaste, motherfuckers. Back tomorrow.